Hey heroes, Kolz here. It's been a while since I've done a release notes rundown. It's actually been exactly 1 month. But today we're going over 4.0.0 and the release of the new Dragon Tower. I'm excited to dive into this one next week when it gets released. It's supposed to be the hardest piece of content they've ever released, according to Freywood, and he's been chatting it up like nuts today on Discord. I'm excited, you should be excited. If you're at the end of the game, this is like endgame content. It's going to be hard, it's going to be fun. So let's dive right into it. The new mode is the Dragon's Tower. Enter the most brutal, most challenging, and most unforgiving mode we've ever released. The Dragon's Tower is here. Designed to test your entire roster, not just one strong hero. So they've been doing this a lot recently. They moved Boss Brawl towards this, where you want to have a whole roster of strong heroes and not just like a 5-star warlord and calling it a day. No revives, no regeneration, and no mercy. That's rough. It's like nightmare mode, but there's not any regeneration and there's no revives, which is nice, which means this is going to be somewhat of a skill-based thing. You can't just pay via gems to clear right through it. That's a nice change. That's a change that they should consider for other modes too, no revives. Cool for like leveling the playing field some. Hero HP is saved between battles, take damage and it sticks. Okay, so that's per hero. But then there's fallen heroes remain dead for the rest of the season and every decision counts. Let's see, choose your difficulty carefully. Once selected, there's no turning back until the next season. So this is similar to hard mode arena, where you start off in hard mode and then once you go to normal mode, you can't go back. But this is just gonna be once you play, you can't go back. One season equals 7 days, right? So each week, hopefully they reset it on the 7th day. And it's not like Hero Clash where it's like 7 days on, 7 days off. That's really kind of like boring to wait an extra like 14 days for a rotation. Brutal modifiers, old and new, will push your strategies to the edge. So you can read the modifiers here. There are no revives, which is cool. Hero HP is saved between floors. There's 30 floors in any individual tower. I guess it's going to take you 7 days to clear it. Evasion is down to 0.1. There's no health regeneration. Fallen heroes cannot be revived until the following week. 0 starting upgrades. There's a new one. So you're not going to want to cheese this with the wizard necklace or like noble helm or wizard robe. So you're going to want to go full glass cannon or full defense or some combination of the two, but you don't need to run wizard gear purposely, at least in the neck and the robe, which means you're going to probably want to run rogue instead. Interesting tidbit there. Enemies are immune to instant kill. All hero invulnerabilities disabled and cooldown capped at 40. I'm imagining too that they're not going to have movement speed tome and you won't have health regeneration tome. Exactly the same as nightmare mode and hard mode arena, although they've never said that explicitly before. 50 difficulties to master, and there's 30 floors per difficulty. So in total, 50 times 30 is 1,500. Freywood was making it seem like each one of them is kind of its own thing. So maybe you can get to certain levels within each one, and then that'll impact the rewards that you get for that season. All right, so here's floor 1. This is what you're going to be loading into on day 1. I guess you picked your roster of heroes. It looks like some of them are featured with a faction bonus, so that's cool. And the bonus is more damage and more health. This is the ultimate mode for true heroes vs Hordes veterans. All right, so it's meant for endgame content, but it unlocks after you beat chapter 45. Someone asked in Discord what the level of difficulty is, and Freywood described it as if you can clear arena without cheesing. That would be like level 2 or 3 in the Dragon Tower. Haven't been doing these release notes because I've been working on how to clear through hard mode arena. And so I'm imagining that this Dragon Tower is going to be similar, where I'm not going to be able to clear it in the first week because I'm still in all mythic gear. Over time, as I get through different stages in it, I'll probably do periodic content for it. So maybe like 1 through 10 or 1 through 5 even. It seems like getting through this is going to be difficult. Freywood's really chatting it up. What's interesting too, so they're going to have for higher levels of difficulty a minimum hero level threshold. So for more difficult chapters, more difficult stages, you're going to need to have at least your heroes at 125. Something to keep in mind there, right? I have a lot of heroes at 120 just for my globals, but I should probably push a couple of them up to 125 and then work on getting their skills up too to compensate. If I'm going to be using them in the Dragon's Tower. So you're going to want a whole roster, and this is kind of going back to the 3.4.0 change, so 6 patches ago now, where they put a much higher emphasis on Hero Orbs. So if you're farming, you should be farming for Hero Orbs. You should be running like hard mode 140. You should not be doing hard mode 1 anymore if you have the time. If you can't get all of your energy out on 140, then sure, go back to hard mode 1. But ideally, you should be farming for Hero Orbs just as much as anything else. See, and then the big thing here, the rewards. So it's not all of the rewards here. The one obvious one is there's an emphasis on skill books, which is great. Skill books are pretty hard to come by, and so you can get them here. I guess they're also available in some other modes. But then there's special hero shards for the first time. So I can finally get the last 10 frigging Leprechaun and Dragon Empress shards that I've been needing for like 3 months. So this is what Dragon Tower looks like. So it's gonna be enemies defeated. So we'll see what happens with that. You're not gonna have to, you can't just run pure nightmare mode survival. It's gonna be about how much damage you can do. So what that means is I'm gonna try and figure out some strategies here, but at some level when they do that, it's a stat check. Because I found out with hard mode arena, if you can't clear enough horde in the time, you can't beat the chapter. And so I was having that issue for a long time in hard mode arena, like 3 or 4 weeks. So that's all the information I have on the Dragon's Tower. It's going to be for endgame players, and hopefully it's a lot of fun. I'm going to do my best to create a strategy as best I can. All right, some fun little changes here. Void Raven got a rework. Projectile size now significantly larger for early game users. Okay, so I don't know exactly how they're going to scale that, but maybe it's like at lower skill levels now, or at lower levels, the projectiles are bigger, then they either get smaller. Let's see what happens with that. Level 40 cooldown reduced from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. Level 40 is a skill that after you mark them, it does the damage that many seconds later. So that's a doubling there. I was always complaining that by 4 seconds everything was done for. At 2 seconds, maybe it's not. That's a big boost for boss brawl. Void Raven is actually a lot of fun in boss brawl. Highly recommend you give that a shot. If you can get the Void Raven up to 3 stars with 3-star skills, put a significant amount of boss brawl damage out. I mean, it's not going to be like top of the charts, but additional damage to the same target via this skill. So a 2-second cooldown there is actually pretty big. You'll be able to put out some Necromancer. Fixed a bug with Forge 5A ignoring the minion spawn cap, and changed Forge 5A to now increase the minion spawn cap. So apparently, I don't have Necromancer, as we all know. I just have me and my little buddy on the shelf, and we cry together when we think about Necromancer. So I don't know if there's a bug with Necromancer. I'm never going to know about it. And it looks like there was a bug, and now they're making it a feature, some combination of that. Change to Necromancer, probably going to be neutral, but something to watch. Other changes, power score reset. How they're calculating the power score is now changed. Health tome now maintains relative health percentage rather than absolute values when healing. This sounds like a buff. So maybe it's a buff to both Warlord and to Werebeast if you have Life Tome. It's also called Life Tome, it's not called Health Tome. Because now it seems like it should heal a percentage, not an absolute value. But I'm not entirely sure which way this is going to go as a nerf or buff. But there's very few heroes that heal. And this might have something to do with how the Dragon Tower is going to work, because you don't have any regen. Heroes with healing are going to be big. It's also going to be big with Stormborn, the new guy. He's going to have a shield that blocks damage, but will also be pretty big in the new Dragon Tower. So that's cool. Bug fixes. Fixed adventure progress UI overlapping other panels. Great for that. Fix random empty space in chapter. Ah, that was the one I reported. Cool. Fix weapon token offer incorrectly appearing under Forge. Okay, that probably... People always complain about how many pop-ups there are, so easier to close them the better. Fix loading animation on add button. They've done a lot of really nice small quality of life changes that go unnoticed, like changing the background between hard mode and normal mode when you complete a chapter. That was actually kind of nice, and it happened like under the radar a couple months ago. But they have been doing a bunch of small little changes that make the game feel nicer in that regard. Nothing big in the bug fixes, because nothing is really impacting heroes. This Health Tome one is to watch out for, and then this Necromancer probably feels neutral. And Void Raven, this might be a nice little buff for boss brawl. So that's nice. So that's it. The big one here is Dragon Tower. So I told you guys it's been a month. I've had a lot of fun creating content in the last month. Slowly but surely, the channel keeps growing. I had the Stormborn go out this week, and that was one of the best videos I've done yet, I think, personally. So I've gotten a lot better at editing, and I appreciate all the original guys that stuck with me back in like February when I had no idea what I was doing, and the sound was broken, and the video was small. But guys like Cosmin and 302, Invictus, all these guys that have been with me since like day one I appreciate your support. It's been a lot of fun to keep doing this. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe if you haven't yet. Getting to 1,000 is a big milestone for me, and so I highly appreciate it. And a lot of you guys I know watch a lot, but haven't subscribed, so push that subscribe button if you don't mind. And you can get early access to these videos on my Patreon, where you can also get priority answers to questions. You can also become an executive producer, like Cake Invictus, Riverwind, and the Webba. Many thanks to them. You guys have been big supporters of me since the beginning. I super appreciate it. So remember, always do your adventures! Me and the elf are going to start doing a lot more together, so try to force him into this one, but he'll appear more naturally in more videos. He's my shelf hero. I guess him and R2. I actually have a bunch of shelf heroes back there. We'll see if we can start incorporating them more into more videos. Thanks a lot, guys.